What is an enclosed garage worth? Maybe you're selling a home with an enclosed garage, or perhaps you're getting ready to make an offer on a home with one. How do you figure out what it adds to the value of a home? This is a frequently asked question that we get when a home has a converted garage. Both buyers and sellers don't realize how to address it. Sellers are notorious for overpricing these homes, and we'll get to the why on that in a minute. Buyers are typically completely ignorant of the valuation process, but those who watch this video to the end will be well prepared to buy a home with an enclosed garage without overpaying for the home. You would think that the valuation is simple and that it should result in a simple answer, but that is not often the case. When somebody encloses a garage, it likely adds heated and cooled square footage to the home, and it is this additional space that needs to be closely examined in order to process the valuation. Today's video will help you understand the value of enclosed garages so that you enter the housing market more informed, whether buying or selling. I have included a link below to a current list of homes for sale in Tallahassee with garages. It is updated every 15 minutes, so you can be sure that this is the best source of this information that you can find. Hi, I'm Joe Manausa, author of The Business of Getting Business and the creator of Manausa.com, where I've helped tens of thousands of people buy and sell homes. I would like to help you too. If you already are a subscriber, thank you and welcome back. If you're not a subscriber, please consider becoming one now. We offer the most thorough and accurate housing market reports on YouTube, plus answers to your real estate frequently asked questions, and we also provide virtual tours of some of the most beautiful homes in Tallahassee. Please remember to like this video, then hit subscribe and click the bell so that you're the most informed buyer or seller in your next real estate transaction. To understand the valuation of a home with an enclosed garage, you must first understand your local market conditions. Each locale and each neighborhood will have its own norms and nuances, so take what you learn from this video as a process to use in your local market. The values might be higher or lower, but the way you determine the value of a home with an enclosed garage will be the same everywhere. The process starts with gaining an understanding of the ratio of homes with garages or carports versus those with no overhead coverage for a car. This will tell us the strength of the demand for garages. This graph shows the total number of homes sold in Tallahassee each year, segmented by whether they have a garage, a carport, or no overhead coverage for a car. The data in all graphs cover all of 2004 through 2021, but 2021 is only through August, so that's why we see the numbers falling. They will be higher than previous years when the whole year has concluded. This graph provides an overall foundation for the property types based upon garages that you'll find in Tallahassee. It segments all home sales by whether they have a carport, that's the red line, a garage, that's the blue line, or no garage at all, and that's the gray line. Most homes with enclosed garages will fall in this third category. Roughly 30% of all existing homes sold in Tallahassee have no garage or carport, and unfortunately, I don't have the data to tell us what percentage of these have enclosed garages, but that's okay. This information is very useful. More important to you as a buyer or seller is what this percentage is in the neighborhood or area in which the home is located. If most homes in the area have garages, then you must understand that most home values are based upon homes having garages. If you're dealing with a home with an enclosed garage, then you have to make adjustments positively for the space that it adds and negatively for its lack of a garage. Of course, the opposite is true. If homes do not have a garage, then the additional space created from the enclosed garage will impact the home's value in a greater amount. Next, let's look at what people are paying for homes, segmented by whether they have a garage, a carport, or neither of the two. This graph clearly delineates the price structure of the housing market, where homes with garages cost the most, followed by homes with carports, and then homes with neither garage nor carports. I would expect that a graph for most neighborhoods that contain homes with enclosed garages would not look like the graph here, because homes with enclosed garages will often sell for more than smaller homes that retain the garage. As this is the main point we're trying to discover, I'll address this further in detail after we've examined values and sizes. Similar to the previous graph, we see that the value hierarchy is garages, carports, and then neither of the two. This graph gives us some great information on how parking accommodations impact home values. The actual values are far less important to us than are the relative values, as the actual values from one neighborhood to another will vary greatly. The relative values from this graph show us that in today's market, homes with garages have been selling for 39% more than homes with neither, while homes with carports have been selling for 17% more than homes with neither. The final thing we want to explore is the size of the homes in the area. This graph, like the previous three, segments the market between homes with garages, homes with carports, and homes with neither. It's no big surprise that homes without garages are typically smaller than those that have carports or a garage, though that is not likely going to be the case in a neighborhood where a home or homes have enclosed garages. I'll spend some more time on this in my conclusion. Overall, we find homes with carports are about 42% larger than those with nothing, and homes with garages are 54% larger than those with nothing. So why is this important? It's important because the size of a home is one element of its value, and we know that homes with enclosed garages are bigger than they were prior to getting the enclosure. So this added size is an added value, but then we have to factor in the loss of the garage or carport that the house has suffered. It has been my experience that ignorant real estate agents and optimistic home sellers hit the market with far too high of an initial asking price for a home with an enclosed garage. Typically, the agent computes the average price per square foot of the homes in the neighborhood and then applies it to the home with the enclosed garage. This improper calculation often leads to disappointment for the home seller. While converting a garage does add valuable space to a home, one must consider the totality of the impact on the home. Here are some questions that must be answered before the value of a home with a converted garage can be completed. Is the quality of the new space consistent with the rest of the home? One should consider things such as the ceiling height, the heating and cooling ductwork, and coverage and plumbing. In my experience, there's often a lower ceiling height and/or a lack of proper circulation for the heating and cooling system. Oftentimes, a wall unit air conditioner has been added, so you have to ask if a wall unit air conditioner is consistent with the typical space one would find in the neighborhood. Additionally, the typical two-car enclosed garage adds 480 square feet to a home, typically a major percentage change. Was an additional bathroom added, or is it just one or two more rooms? In other words, is the converted garage built to the same standards as what is usually found on the interior of homes in the neighborhood? If not, you cannot assess the local price per square foot to the new square footage of the garage. It has to be valued at a lower rate. Is the home's new size consistent with what you find in the neighborhood? If the home size is significantly larger than those around it, the value of the additional space is lessened. Why? Because people who want larger homes buy in a different neighborhood. So while the additional space is more valuable, it's not at the same rate as the rest of the home. You should know that the largest home in a neighborhood usually sells at a lower end of the value range. It fetches a higher price, but a lower price per square foot. Was a new garage or carport added to replace the enclosed garage? If not, one has to consider the loss of covered parking as a loss of value. We've already seen graphs that show us that homes with garages or carports sell at a higher value than those without. Does the overall value move in a positive or negative direction due to the enclosed garage? The loss of the garage is a negative value, while the addition of space is a positive value. One has to consider both in order to establish the financial impact of an enclosed garage on a home. Converting a garage makes a home larger and in the majority of cases more valuable, but my experience has taught me that many enclosed garages are not built to the same standard as the existing home, and thus the additional gain in value from the additional square footage is often neutralized by the loss of covered parking. I have seen enclosed garages end up as gorgeous master suites with new plumbing and a new heating and cooling unit for the additional space. On the other end of the spectrum, I've seen enclosed garages that was simple as replacing the garage doors with a wall and windows, and carpet was put down on the garage floor and an AC duct was cut into the room, meaning the HVAC system of the home now had an additional 480 square feet to cover. You can see that these two situations resulted in very different valuations for the enclosed garage. If you're thinking about enclosing a garage on a home, first talk to a trusted realtor about what you want to do and how it will impact the value of your home. The consultation will be free and it might just save you a whole lot of money. If you're in the Tallahassee area, give us a call. We're happy to give you guidance before you spend money on your existing home. If you're looking at buying a home with an enclosed garage, make sure you work with an experienced and active buyer's agent so you don't make too high of an offer on the home. And finally, if you're planning to sell a home with an enclosed garage, make sure you hire an active and experienced listing agent so that you're not misled on the value of your home. It's critical to hit the market at the right price so that you can squeeze every dime out of the sale of your home. If you would like to see more videos with answers to questions from viewers just like you, I've assembled a great playlist that you can view by clicking on the box on the top left corner of your screen. For a playlist of my top tips for home buyers, just click on the box below it. Please remember to like this video, check out the links below it, and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss anything.